Hello everyone, B.O.B. here, back with another Minecraft video. And this interesting looking build right below me here is actually my charged creeper farm. It's used for collecting mob skulls, primarily wither skeleton skulls, but you can use this to collect other skulls as well. The wither skeleton skulls are the ones that are actually useful. Let me show you around a little bit. Okay, now to start off here, we have well, at its core, it's a creeper farm, but as you can see, there's some redstone stuff going on up there, and we'll talk about what that's doing here in a few minutes. But now, I can normally just drop creepers down, just like any other creeper farm. Right now, I got them landing on a campfire. Pay no attention to my stunt double here. He's just helping me keep the farm loaded, and he's going to help me with this video later on. But I also got a trident killer built into this. I'll demonstrate that later on as well. It's a whole thing to get it going, but there's many different modes for this mob farm, and right now it's just a standard AFK, collect some gunpowder mode, which I never seem to have enough gunpowder. Anyway, up here we have the creeper cells. Let me take a little bubble vader ride up here if I can do it properly. Alright, made it first try. And as you can see up here, we got our creeper cells. All of these guys are named. They're all just named Skull because that's what they're going to be. They're going to become, well, they're going to produce a bunch of skulls for me. I can save up to 12 creepers in this farm, and, well, it can also produce other mobs as well if I so see fit. Now, when I want to blow up some mobs, I can just drop one of these creepers into a water stream that's down below them, and they'll make their way down into here, a blast chamber. I don't know if you can see this on the video, but there's a couple of wither skeletons in there already. I sent them in through a portal right back there. I actually got a snowman behind that portal to knock wither skeletons out of the portal when they linger. He'll just chuck some snowballs at them, and they'll fall into the water streams, and then down here into my little blast chamber. Moving them requires naming them as well. I mean, you don't need to have multiple counts going in order to do it, but as long as they're named, and you can send them through a portal, and they'll come to the overworld just fine. And it's nice to get a skull, guaranteed skull, for every single wither skeleton you find. I didn't build a big wither skeleton farm. I don't need one, because every single one of these guys that I find becomes a skull for me. Now, the redstone. Yeah, I got a torch tower going up to the farm, and you can see it's kind of wrapped around two sides of it. This is actually the southeast sides, and that's no coincidence. What's going on here is, like I said, at its core, this building is a creeper farm. And most creeper farms have trapdoors overhead, so that way only creepers can spawn inside them. Well, in this particular case, on the southeast sides, south and east sides, I put all of those trapdoors on the ends of sticky pistons. What Rambling B.O.B. will fail to mention is the reason that the south and east sides are important to have the redstone going to is because the sticky pistons there would obstruct spawns on the north and west side, since mobs spawn on the northwest corner of a block. Now, if I only want creepers to spawn in here, I'll extend those sticky pistons, and only creepers can spawn. But if I wanted to collect some other mob skulls, like some skelly skulls or zombie skulls, I can retract all of those pistons, and that allows all of these, well, both of those sides of the farm to spawn things other than creepers. And, well, I mean, obviously you're still getting more creepers than everything else because that's what there's the most room for. But I mean, this is about collecting mob skulls. It's not really about collecting the loot from those other mobs. And as you can see, we got a couple rolling in already. I thought I seen a skeleton in front. Maybe he just hasn't made his way into the blast chamber yet. Well, next time I'm going to go into the nether and show you guys how I'm moving the wither skeletons to the overworld. Now, I was very specific when I chose the location of my charged creeper farm because I wanted to be able to easily move wither skeletons there while I found a nether fortress, and then I built my portal close to that. Now, I like to build my entire nether hub real close to the nether ceiling, mainly because it's easy to dig to places. So in this case, I'm very, very far above the nether fortress. Let me just drink one of these to ensure you guys can see what's going on here. But now I got this minecart rail going all the way up to my charged creeper farm, and you can see it splits off in a couple different places. I don't need it to go too many places. I just need wither skeletons to come to these places, and then I can easily just capture them in a minecart. Oops, you know what? Forgot minecarts. Alright, well, if I could get these guys killed. I did finally, well, I got one to spawn. I actually had to try a couple times. Oh, I guess I got him blocked off there. We're going to let him through right here. And see, now he can't get me right there, but he's right by the edge of the track. So I can go ahead and pop a name tag on that guy. And we're going to throw my cart down and just kind of bumping her into him. Yeah, I got a little wither effect, not a big deal. And off he goes, though. He's going to my skull farm to become a skull. Excuse me, Mr. Zombie Pinglet. I'm trying to show something here. Excuse me. You're being very rude. Anyway, when a minecart comes up here, of course, it's going to pass over this detector rail, and that's going to send a signal to that sticky piston, which is going to extend with them slime blocks on the end. That's going to hit that wither skeleton right in the head and knock him into the portal. Then the minecart rolls through, hits the cactus, falls into the hopper, gets collected in the chest. Okay, I sent my stunt double down into the fortress to see if we can watch this happen from this perspective. And you barely see a thing. And from the overworld side of things, any second now. There he is. He kind of fell right out of there. I didn't notice if he got hit by snowballs at all or not. Yes, he did, in fact, get hit by snowballs. I was only watching my camera screen out of the corner of my eye. I was using the stunt double down in the fortress, trying to focus on where I was going. But anyway, I have released one of my charged creepers, the very first one in the cell. It's always best to release the first one because that's the easiest one to replace. It's first in the chain. Now, whenever the creeper cells are full, or whenever one cell is full, it automatically opens up the path to the next one. I think I did explain that already. There's some redstone trickery involved, and I'd love to show it to you more closely, but if I stand on the back of this where the redstone is, well, then the creepers can see me, and they will absolutely blow up. That was the one and only mishap I had while building this thing. I had to rebuild a couple of cells in here because, yeah, I tried to land on the back to take a closer look at the redstone, and it didn't work out for me. But I think we're about ready for a demonstration. We got a witch coming down, but there's no real need to wait on the witch because I can't collect a skull from that one anyway. I was hoping to get a couple of more mobs, though. Maybe I'll hold off until morning and try and get a few more. Okay, so nothing else seems to want to just spawn in right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and collect what we've got here. I did manage to get an extra creeper, so I think we got 4 wither skeletons in there and a creeper skull. Typically, I like to try and fill that blast chamber up, so I'm getting lots of skulls with each blast, but just for demonstration purposes and because I'm getting a little impatient, let's go ahead and blow this thing up. Ooh. And now, as you can see, the heads are floating under there where I can't really reach. Well, I just take a water bucket, pour it right back there, and it flushes everything out where I can pick it up. And we got 4 wither skeleton skulls and a creeper head. Okay, well, it just so happens I had to restock a couple cells, and, well, this is awfully convenient because it's raining, so I got uncharged creepers that just came into the system. You see I got the lightning rods here and a channeling trident. I think you can put 2 and 2 together here. And that's all it took to charge both of these. And let me go ahead and just name tag these bad boys. Boom, and now they won't despawn. I got a couple of, well, I got 12 charged creepers in the system. So yeah, restocked. Okay, now that I've finished collecting skulls, I want to go back into my AFK mode. So I'm going to come in here into my little uh, hut safety AFK chamber area. The first thing I want to do is I want to go back to just collecting straight gunpowder. So I'm going to turn off multi-mob mode, and then I'm going to switch it back to AFK mode. That's going to let mobs fall straight down into our little kill chamber here. The creeper cell bypass mode, that just prevents the creeper cells from being open. Like if I don't have everything full and I just want mobs to go directly to the blast chamber, that's what that light's all about. And I did mention that I have a trident killer built right in here, and I was going to show you how that worked. Of course, yeah, now the mobs want to spawn in. Oh, I already got this stuff. So in order to switch this over to trident killer mode, first I'm going to have to kill this creeper. And I'm going to break my fireplace here. And I'm going to go ahead and just throw a trident in there. As you can see, I got pistons on both sides. They're just on an alternating signal. And I have the input hidden underneath this block right here. So I can just put that lever down and throw the lever. Boom. And now we got a trident killer on the bottom of this. And I can collect everything with Fortune 3. Usually I'm just collecting gunpowder. I'm not really worried about the other mob drops. The whole premise of the multi-mob mode was, well, for skulls. And it looks like I got a couple of zombies up there that didn't get flushed into the blast chamber. I'm not too worried about that. They'll despawn whenever I fly away or leave the area. And the reason I remove that lever when I'm not using the trident killer is because if I accidentally hit that lever while the fireplace is in there, it's gonna bust the trident killer and I'm gonna have to rebuild it, and I really don't want to have to do that. Now I know what some of you are thinking, but B, what about the piglin skulls? Well, whenever I built this farm, piglin skulls weren't in the game, so I didn't really plan for that. But I am working out how to modify this farm so that way I will be able to collect piglin skulls. Basically, what I'm going to have to do is set up a railway to send some of my charged creepers from my collection into the nether, set up another blast chamber in there where I can basically lure piglins into, which it's easy to lure them, but the problem is I'm going to have to lure them far because piglins don't normally spawn inside the nether fortress. There are some biomes not too terribly far away, so I'm sure I can make it work, but it's just going to be a lot of work, and I haven't been willing to do that yet. I've been doing all the exploring and fun things, getting armor trims. That's what it's all about, right? Another thing that could be said is if I did take the time to actually build a wither skeleton farm in that nether fortress that I'm plucking my wither skeletons from, of course that would make everything a lot more efficient. I could be moving wither skeletons in here by the dozen. I didn't really see that as necessary. Like I said, I get a skull for every single one. And that's a lot of work. It really is. But I mean, if you were on a server, an SMP, and you wanted to provide enough for the entire community, that would be a good way to do it. You have your wither skeleton farm feeding right into your charged creeper farm, and you're getting a skull for every single skeleton that comes through, which in some cases those are insane numbers. Speaking of realms or SMP, this current world is a realm. Problem is, I don't have very many friends. So right now, all I'm using this realm for is to be able to connect from my different devices to this same world. Even my phone, if I'm not at home, I can jump on and make progress on this world, from no matter where I am. But I am thinking about bringing some other people in. I'm kind of preferring content creators, but that isn't 100% necessary. I just want people who can communicate via, well, preferably PlayStation app, because I'm recording via PlayStation, or Discord. But I mean, if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, if you're a content creator or just want to join a realm, an SMP, join the BOB Discord. It'll be in the description down below. And go ahead and hit me up on there. I'm not going to be taking just anybody because I don't want griefers or anything like that. I'm trying to build a community, but I mean, if you're interested, maybe hit me up. Like I said, content creators, small ones, I don't care how many subs you got. That doesn't matter to me. But I will want to review some of your content to make sure, it's decent. It's up to par. I'm going to be judgmental. Deal with it. But don't be too self-conscious about that. I mean, it's not like my videos are all that great, are they? but hey, you know what? If you stuck around this long, you must be enjoying them. And I thank you very much for checking it out. And I apologize greatly that I'm not going to do a step-by-step tutorial on this. But if you look around this place, I'm sure you can understand why that tutorial would be 1,000 hours long. But it's like I said, you find a fortress. You build a portal to the overworld. You don't have to build it clear up at the top of another roof. That's just my preference. But then when you come to the overworld, you build your creeper farm there. All you got to do is go way up in the sky, so that way all the spawns are happening inside your farm and not underground. And then link up another portal to send in wither skeletons and some minecart rails all throughout your fortress. It's really as simple as that. I mean, like I say, I'm saying it like it's simple. It was a lot of work, but it's totally worth it if you're after these skulls or if you want a ton of beacons. Sorry, folks, I got a little bit rambly there. Anyway, like I was saying, I want to thank you all for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, you like the build, go ahead and drop me a like, and if you're interested in seeing more content from me, consider subscribing as well. Again, with the SMP, if you're interested in maybe joining an SMP realm on Bedrock, go ahead and hit me up in the BOB Discord. I want to wish you all a wonderful day.